The Rangers have given a shocking update in regard to one of their best players. This has major implications on the team and who will fill a spot in that top six. I break down why this is very bad news for the Blue Shirts in just a moment on another sizzling edition of Rangers Digest. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. We are built for Blue Shirt fandom, and I'm your host, Bret Botfeld. It is great to be back with you guys on this beautiful Saturday, the 11th of October. Rangers hockey is back tonight. Mike Sullivan makes his long-awaited return to Pittsburgh as the Rangers look for revenge against the 2-0 Penguins. And guys, we have a major update in regard to Vincent Trocheck. But before we break all of it down, a quick reminder to smash that subscribe button. About 72% of you who currently watch these videos are still unsubscribed to the channel. So please go down below, hit that free subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers. Because guys, this is the place to be for all your daily New York Rangers content. Not only that, so you could be part of something special here at Rangers Digest. Let's waste no more time and hop right into these updates. Guys, bad news for the Blue Shirts. Vince had it first this morning. As you can see, Vincent Trocheck, dealing with that upper body injury, will not play tonight and is considered week to week per New York Rangers. Guys, this is not good. As you can see, the key words here is week to week, not day to day. I understand the Rangers have a back-to-back where they will play tonight and then host, the Washington Capitals at the world's most famous arena tomorrow night. It's a back-to-back, but the key words is that they are taking this on a week-to-week basis, where in the preseason, Artemi Panarin, JT Miller, that was a day-to-day basis. This is week-to-week, so we can go a long stretch here without a key component, a key cog to this team bouncing back, having success, trying to make a push for the postseason. They're going to have to go at least for a little bit here to start the year without Vincent Trocheck. And guys, it simply stinks. This guy is so important to the team. We're going to break it down further, but let's take a look at what the lines now look like without Vinny Trocheck. All right, as you can see here, without Trocheck, here are the lines. Panarin, Zibanejad, Lafreniere on that first line. Second line, Cooley, Miller, Sherry. More on him in a moment. Juuso Parssinen making his debut. Noah Laba, Taylor Radish, and then no surprise at fourth line. That identity fourth line of Adam Edstrom, Sam Carrick, and Matt Rempe. Let's hear about, what the coach had to say in putting Mika Zibanejad back at center. Why did Sullivan decide to move Zibanejad away from Miller and back to center after the Trocheck injury? He said, I simply think we need more balance. We need to give some of our other offensive people a center iceman that can think the game at their level and give them an opportunity to set them up for success. I feel like when we have JT and Mika in our top two center positions, and now we surround them with some of the people that we have that think the same way that they do, that are gifted offensively, that is very important. That is a significant element to the lines. We feel like when Troch was out of the lineup, it was a necessary choice to put Mika back in the middle. So Mika's back in the middle. We understand Mika was simply a much better player at right wing last season. He was less than a point per game player, to be exact, a half point per game player with the Rangers at center. And then once they traded for JT Miller and he moved to the right side of JT, he became an over 1 point per game player. But guys, this has a trickle down effect because it's not just the fact that Mika's game improved, but also JT Miller, when he was in Vancouver last year, he was a less than point per game player, came to the Rangers, played with Mika, became an over point per game player as well. Not only that, Will Cooley, you saw his aggression, you saw his north to south style of hockey increase once he was on that line with JT and Mika. So this has a trickle down effect, and now you see Connor Sherry is in the top six. But guys, before we break him down a little bit further, as I just mentioned before, Juuso Parssinen making his debut tonight for the Rangers. Here's what he had to say. Juuso Parssinen, on being scratched for the first two games, he said, that's how it is sometimes. I try to stay positive. And on getting his opportunity now, he said he's excited. A lot of energy First game of the season for myself, so that's always fun. I'm trying to bring my game and help the guys get the win. Look, I like his attitude. It was his job to lose that third line center position coming into the season. He understands how grueling of a sport the National Hockey League is. He understands that, these lines aren't etched in stone, as you can see already here. NHL rosters are fluid, and now he's getting his crack at the lineup, and he's going to try to make the most out of it. I like his game when he's healthy. He's a good two-way forward. He's physical. He plays a heavy, hard, honest style of hockey. But going back to these lineups, look at the top six, guys. This is extremely concerning. Now the Rangers are going to have to go a significant stretch with Connor Sherry in the top six. Look, I like this hockey player. I was a little bit hard on him. Wanted to see Bret Botfeld get the start, to start the year over Connor Sherry. But he has played a good, honest style of hockey. He's very active. He battles along the boards, but he is more of an identity type of player, a third, fourth line type of player. He is not fit, not cut out, not built for the top six. He's an undersized player. He doesn't put the puck, between the pipes at nearly a high enough rate. And we spoke about how crucial the Rangers' top six was going to have to be this season, how much they were going to have to carry this team along with Igor Shesterkin, and now it is significantly weaker with Connor Sherry. I would have preferred seeing a guy like Gabe Perreault who could add a spark, add some juice, add some scoring punch to this lineup, give, the team a morale boost. Losing Vinny Trocheck, an alternate captain, we know what this brother brings to the table. Losing him sucks. The Rangers are trying to turn their year around from last year, and now they have to do it without one of their best players. I would have loved Gabe Perreault to get that call up, give the Rangers a shot in the arm. Obviously, that's not going to be the case. Let's look at their power play lineups here. Molly Walker had it. As expected, Alexis Lafreniere on Rangers power play 1 in place of Vinny Trocheck. Power play 2 is Laba, Sherry, Cooley, Rempe, and Schneider. I love Lafreniere on power play 1. I spoke about it. Last year, despite a down year, second on the Rangers in even strength points. Give him an opportunity on power play 1 with the big boys. I'll get into power play 2 in just a moment here. Colin Stevenson gets a little more specific with the power play unit. Lafreniere takes Trocheck's spot at the net front on power play 1. Fox, Mika, Panarin, JT, Lafreniere, and Laba steps in on power play 2. On the left half wall, Schneider, Laba, Sheary, Cooley, and Rempe. Guys, Lafreniere, like I said, replacing Trocheck at the net front. We saw how good Lafreniere looked the other night at the net front, near the opposing goaltender's blue paint, really shoving that puck into the back of the net, getting his first goal of the season. Braden Schneider, need to continue to see him evolve as the quarterback of power play 2, at least until Scott Morrow makes his long-awaited debut. NYR Louis commented on the situation. He said, Taylor Radish had 7 power play goals and 8 power play assists in his best season, and he can't get power play time over Matt Rempe. It's small things like this that are just frustrating. I love Louis, but tend to disagree with him on this take. I am willing to experiment Taylor Radish on the power play, no doubt about that. Especially if it gets stale, you need to try something else. But, the Rangers need a net front presence, and, especially ever since losing Chris Kreider. Matt Rempe is 6'9", well over 200 pounds. He is just a nightmare for the opposing goaltender, trying to get a clear sight of the puck, cutting off those lanes, making his eyesight, very difficult, deflecting pucks with that big frame. So I like Matt Rempe as a net front presence. Nevertheless, I would like to see Radish, at least get a chance on the power play. But guys, losing Trocheck, like I said, it significantly hurts the top 6. And this is a guy that has been very durable for the Rangers. But like I said, all of the Rangers' best players are older, over the age of 30. And guys, your health, durability, it doesn't improve with age. And the Rangers have really been hit with some adversity so far this year. Obviously, Panarin, JT in the preseason dealing with injuries. Now Trocheck, the 32-year-old, who has been very durable for the Rangers, showing some signs of age, dealing with some injuries now. So the Rangers are going to have to show some resiliency, which they did not show last year. Guys are going to have to step up. Like I said, I'd rather see Gabe Perreault in the top 6 than Connor Sherry. And when it comes to the power play, I got some hate, but that's why I said Vincent Trocheck. I would have liked to have seen him on power play 2 and Lafreniere on power play 1, because you have to manage this guy's workload. Trocheck does so much for the Rangers, guys. He is a two-way forward. He contributes offensively. He contributes defensively. Unsettled offense. He's great with the forecheck, the back check, clearing the puck through the neutral zone. A complete 200-foot player, alternate captain. He's got all the traits you love. He does so much for this team. I would have liked to have seen them manage his workload a little bit better, but nevertheless, he's going to have to battle through this injury, and the Rangers are going to have to step up. But leave your comments down below. What would you have done? Would you have put Gabe Perreault, one of the young kids, in the top 6? I agree with Mike Sullivan not moving Noah Laba up into the top 6. Keep him at third-line center, especially after that egregious turnover the other night where Igor Shesterkin bailed him out. I love Noah Laba, but I just don't think he's ready yet to step into the top 6. Leave him at third-line center. Let him keep playing and developing. I love his game. But leave your comments down below. Give us a follow on X. Give us a follow on TikTok as well. The conversation continues over there and in the comments. Please put your comments. Who would you want to see in that top 6? Because I know I respect Connor Sherry, but he is not a top 6 player. And the Rangers are just going to have to deal with it for these next few games here. But leave us a comment, and if you still haven't yet, hit that free subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.